Hi, and welcome to another Nerd Show and Tell here at Terribly Fun Films. My wife and I recently went on a road trip, and we went to the store I used to work at, which was a movie stop. Movie stops, just so it sounds like a GameStop, but for movies. Sadly, the entire company is going out of business, which happily meant they had a massively awesome sale going on. I got a lot of things, so we're going to get to this right away. First up are the non-movie related items. I have the Captain Stephen Hiller from Independence Day Funko, and the David Levinson Independence Day Funko, which does mean I'm now entirely done with those Funkos. I have all the Independence Day ones. Then, because my wife is awesome, loves me, knows me far too well, she bought me the David Hasselhoff Sharknado bobblehead. I already own the Sharknado bobblehead. This is the only other bobblehead that they've made so far, and now I own both. I'm very excited. Up next are the few TV shows that we bought. Bored to Death Season 1, Bored to Death Season 2, and Season 1 of Metalocalypse. And now, the Blu-rays I bought. There are two in here that I did not get during the movie stop sale. I will point them out when we get to them. These are in alphabetical order. Caveman with Sky Laston and Chad Michael Murray. John Watts' Cop Car, Kevin Bacon. He is the person doing the new Spider-Man movie. I'm very excited. The zombie film Disaster LA, Joel Egerton's The Gift, the cheesy horror film Killer Movie, the really weird, almost good but not quite horror movie Muck. This movie I pre-ordered. It is not part of what I got at Movie Stop. I just haven't done a Nerd Show and Tell since it arrived in the mail. And that is Ray Harryhausen, Special Effects Titan. It finally got a North American release. Even if that North American release was just on DVD, I would have still bought it. It got one on Blu-ray, so that's what I got. Same thing for this next title. This, I did not get at Movie Stop. It was a pre-order, finally arrived, and it is Arrow Video Special Edition Blu-ray release of Return of the Killer Tomatoes. I love that movie. Now, we're back to things I bought at Movie Stop for super cheap. This next film's not that good. It's the weakest in the franchise, but it had moments I really enjoyed, and the ending's kinda nice, and for the $3 it cost me, totally worth getting. Scorpion King 4, The Quest for Power on Blu-ray. This next film is adorable, and I love it. Shaun the Sheep, the movie! And I haven't seen this one, but it was like $4, I think it was, and totally worth owning to find out if it's any good. Robert Zemeckis' The Walk with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I own Man and Wire and really love the story, so I think this will be a fun thing to watch. Up next, we have the Made for Sci-Fi channel and the Asylum movies that I bought during this massive sale. There aren't too many, but I'm very glad I was able to find everyone that I did. First is Antibody, starring Lance Hendrickson, which was a Sci-Fi channel movie. When the Asylum first came into being as a studio, they made a few films, mostly kind of low-budget action thrillers, but they bought rights to a lot of films and released them under their own banner. One of those movies is Dark Queen. So if you look right there, it's the Asylum logo, even though technically speaking it's not an Asylum movie as they didn't produce it, they just released it on DVD. Speaking of the Asylum, when they were first formed, they did make low-budget action thriller type films. One of those was called The Killers, and it was apparently a big enough hit for them that they made a sequel, Killers 2: The Beast. I've never seen Killers 2 used before, and it cost me like 50 cents. I'm very excited by that. Once again, going off of the they released it, didn't necessarily produce it type thing, we have Shades of Darkness. Been trying to find a copy of this movie for much longer than I care to admit. That is Sharknado Feeding Frenzy! And finally, we have the Sci-Fi Channel movie Sinbad and the Minotaur. And now, we come to just the regular DVDs that I bought during this time. These are in alphabetical order, starting with numbers. The first one is a 4-movie sci-fi pack, and it has Leeches, The Cold Equations, Last Lives, and Firehead. I already own Leeches as a separate DVD, but I didn't have the other 3 for 50 cents. Totally worth it. And then we have the comedy Belle's Book and Candle, starring Jimmy Stewart. Bob Newhart, Button Down Concert. In my quest to find every Casper Van Dien movie possible, some have proven to be out of print and much harder to find than one would expect. This next movie is one of those where online it can go for over $20, which for a used straight to DVD Casper Van Dien movie, no. Certain movies might be worth it, used and hard to find, sure. But for the movie Chasing Destiny, probably not. This next film is a new horror film that came out earlier this year or late last year, I forget. And it is Chill, The Killing Games. I've heard great things, very excited to watch it. After that is another stand-up, Craig Ferguson's A Wee Bit of Revolution. Then we have the sci-fi film Dante 01. Then we have the Cirque du Soleil Duralian. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Billy Blanks is probably most known for his Taibo workout stuff. Apparently at some point he decided to try being an actor. I don't know, this is literally the only movie I can recall seeing him in, and I haven't watched it yet. It's called Expect No Mercy. Then we have the horror film Germ Z, and the weird comedy G-Men from Hell. We have the new Sarah Silverman movie, I Smile Back. I'm a massive Sarah Silverman fan, so I'm very excited to watch that. This next film I happened to stumble across in the aisles of movie stuff, never heard of before, which is weird because it stars Jay Baruchel and Rose Byrne. That is Just Buried. I'm very excited to watch that. I don't know how or why I didn't done this, but we have March of the Penguins. Now we have the Dolph Lundgren starring The Minion. My wife loves The Moomins, which is this cute little European comic fantasy thing. So we got one of their movies. Moomin and the Midsummer Madness. Now we have the straight to DVD cheesiness of The Mummy Resurrected, which, despite that cover and the title, has nothing to do with the Brendan Fraser, Stephen Sommers directed Mummy films. Nothing at all. Then we have a documentary about paperclips called Paperclips. I got nothing. This was a present from a friend of mine because we haven't seen them for a really long time. So we exchanged birthday presents, Christmas presents stuff. And that is Peter Jackson's King Kong Production Diaries. Then we have Roger and Me. This next film is fairly new and I'm very excited to have a copy so I can watch and review it, and that is The Sand. Up next is, I think it's a mockumentary, I'm not too sure, but it has Seth Meyers and frickin' John Cho. See this movie! Special Forces is an Isaac Florentine directed film starring Scott Adkins from like 2002, I think it is. I didn't know they've been working together that long. They have a great filmography together, so I'm really excited to watch this. Up next is the documentary Spellbound. Now we have Joe Carnahan's Stretch. Joe Carnahan is the director behind Smokin' Aces, the A-Team film with Liam Neeson, The Grey, also with Liam Neeson. I love his work. Stretch is one of his most insane, gloriously awesome works. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. This next film I haven't seen, thought it sounded pretty cool, and again, most of these films cost me less than $1. Some were slightly over. The Blu-rays were definitely a bit over that, but not by much. And so this is the submarine thriller Subconscious. Now we have the Amber Heard-led comedy Syrup. This next film is considered to be one of the best bad movies ever, and I wholeheartedly agree. Turbulence 3, Heavy Metal. Never heard of this next title, but it sounded really interesting and something that was right up my alley. I would love to watch and review. That is Varsity Blood. If it's not good or not fun, I won't review it, but I'll still do a letterbox review so you can see how it fares that way. Now we have Michael Dudikoff's Virtual Assassin. Because any self-respecting bad movie fan needs to own this, we got Nicolas Cage's The Wicker Man. Then we have the Dawn Wilson, Cynthia Rothrock starring Extreme Fighter, also known as Sci Fighter. This next title, I was so happy to find. So happy. Jean-Pierre Jeunet is one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. He did City of Lost Children, he did Delicate Assassin, he did Amelie, he did A Very Long Engagement. He makes amazing films. His latest film, which I somehow missed when it originally came out, is the young and prodigious T.S. Spivet. Haven't watched it yet, but given his track record, I'm sure I'll love it. The final film for this whole big thing is the documentary Young at Heart, which is very sweet and moving if you have not seen it. As always, thank you for watching. I've been your host, Bobby, and I'll see you next time.